talk about our high streets as we are seeing Oasis and Warehouse, once very much, kings of the high street fashion chain stores. They've fallen into administration, leading to more than 200 immediate job losses and some 1,800 staff across other shops and concessions also furloughed, receiving 80% of pay. Kate Hardcastle joined me. She's a retail specialist and joins us. Kate, there is an argument, isn't it, that perhaps some of these stores like Warehouse and Oasis perhaps were not doing very well before the pandemic and perhaps were already on their last legs. Is that the case in this case of these two stores?
Morning, Julia. I think that's very accurate, yes, because we know that the high street has had huge involvement over the last 10 years, not least because of the growth of online, but certainly because of the changing face of the consumer in terms of their confidence in finding new brands, looking for different ways to buy, and also the fact that it's very fragmented in terms of their purchasing, that they will buy discount and value and then they'll combine that with luxury. So this middle market, almost the belt, has been tightened, and that's why we're seeing such erosion of the brand names that sat there. These brands have been struggling for years, and although they've started to make some slight increase in terms of their profits, they actually had very little shout and very little share of the audience in fashion who had just almost fallen out of love with them and generally looked to other brands to fulfill the purchases they were making, particularly fast fashion.
Yeah, indeed. And there's always going to be competition, and we often talk about the brands that do badly and fall by the wayside, but actually at the same time we see other brands like the Zaras, the H&Ms that just absolutely boom through this. Let's talk about someone else who's absolutely booming, not on the high street, Amazon. They're now making, the online retailer, people are spending almost $11,000 every second on their products around the world. And the company's now taken on 175,000 new staff in the week since Western economies were hit by the coronavirus. And we are just seeing hundreds of millions of people now turning to Amazon because they can't go out to their stores. Do you think this is going to be a permanent move? I mean, we already know Amazon was huge, taking over a lot of the online retail, but do you think we're going to see a complete move away from the high street, or do you think people are going to be desperate to get back to being able to actually go to shops in 3D on the high street, surrounded by other real people?
Well, what the high street has to do, and the local authorities responsible and the planners, they need to absolutely understand the radical changes they need to bring, which is that the high street's purpose will form one of socialisation rather than a need to shop. Every single door cannot be a retail offer because that's just not required anymore. Amazon are very fast-paced, very fast-moving, willing to try, willing to change, and obviously a lot of people relying on them because they're in lockdown and they feel that there's still items they need to buy. Now, we can have a conversation about what's been classed as non-essential and essential because we've seen purchases increase on things like gym equipment for the home, arts and crafts for kids and hobbies, even leisure wear. But if people feel that that's what they need to get them through this, then the argument could be, well, but that's just what we're doing, and it's keeping some form of economy going.
Absolutely. I'm carrying on buying. I've still got a job. I think if you've still got a job and you've still got money coming in, you should carry on purchasing because we need people to carry on being consumers. Otherwise, companies can't stay afloat. And I don't think no one is telling us we should only buy essential goods, leaving your home to buy essential. Online, absolutely. Delivery drivers are keeping jobs. Manufacturers are keeping jobs. This is going to be vital for keeping our economy afloat.
I've been speaking to some delivery companies and their drivers from great safe distance, and they've been telling me this is busier than Christmas for them in terms of the deliveries they're making. I guess my only plea is if you are still buying, try and share some of that with the independent retail network because they are the ones that have kept so many communities afloat. A lot of them have online businesses and social businesses, and it would be great to see a boost for them. But our high streets of the future, of course they're going to be there. They're just going to be different, and if the local authorities are clever enough and the government puts money in the right place, there will be places for us to socialise and enjoy community once more when we're able to do so.
Absolutely. Kate Hardcastle, thank you very much indeed.